Hello and welcome. I was just actually doing the live hangout, and I'm just aware now that it's actually live. So today I wanted to actually talk to you all about the power of letting go of chasing your friends and family. And one of the key ways that I've learned from many of my successful mentors is simply that people who are 40 years and younger are people who really people, any of us who are 40 years and younger, it doesn't necessarily work for us to go after our friends and family anymore, right? We kind of have to, if we're going to move forward in the way of our dreams, we kind of have to be willing to let go of going after our friends and family, and we have to be willing to stepping into going after our target market, right? And so one of the things that I've learned in a product that I have, which is called the Top Producer Formula, is that if we want to move forward in the way of our dreams, we have to be willing to go after our target markets, because 9 times out of 10, our friends and family are not interested in the products that we have. And so one of the key things is to recognize that, we're not going to sell, or try to convince a vegetarian to eat meat, right? They're just not interested. And for most of us, that's a similar thing with our friends and family. Most of our friends and family are just not interested in going, and they're not interested in, us, in our products. And so what we have to do in our network marketing business, if we want to let go of chasing our friends and family, is we have to begin to, number one, step into the power of really going after those who are interested. And by first identifying our target market. Now, how do we identify our target market? One of the key ways that we identify our target market is we begin to, number one, recognize the power of, okay, who needs what I have. And not only who needs what I have, but one of the key things that I've learned from many of my successful mentors is to really start to look at it like, first and foremost, start to look at it like, okay, my friends and family are not interested. So obviously I need a target market. So how can I find my target market? Well, I can find my target market by first looking at myself and identifying the things that I'm interested in, right? Because obviously, one of the things that one of my mentors, Tracy Walker, talks about is that people don't buy from people that they can't relate to. So we want to make sure that we're actually relating to our target market. And one of the ways that we can actually relate to our target market is by first and foremost identifying what we like. So as you identify what you like who do you like to follow? Who are your favorite public speakers? What kind of books do you like to read? What kind of audios do you like to listen to? Because that's going to give you a really clear, I believe, indication of who your target market is, right? Because people don't necessarily buy from people. They usually don't buy from people that they can't relate to. So if you identify your target market as people who have a similar interest as you, they're going to be more than likely interested in the information that you're teaching. And so being that they're going to be more interested in the kind of information that you're teaching, one of the key things is to recognize that we want to target a specific group of people, and they're probably people like us. So if we want to let go of chasing our friends and family, because as I mentioned before, most of our friends and family are not interested in what we have. They're just not. It's like we're trying to sell meat to a vegetarian who just isn't interested. And so that's what we're doing when we go after our friends and family. And like I mentioned before, I guess I'll give you a little background about myself. When I first got started in network marketing, I had a very successful, entrepreneurial friend, mentor who I got underneath in the business. And she told me to make, basically, go after 3 people, something along the lines of go after 3 people who would not tell me no. And the only problem with that is that one of the things that Dave Wood, who's one of my mentors and also the founder of Empower Network, talks about in the Top Producer Formula, which is the product that I'm actually teaching from today, he talks about the fact that, our friends and family, we go after people who we already know. If we're under the age of 40, a lot of times they think we're a little crazy, right? It just doesn't work in this digital age for people that are 40 years and younger to go after our friends and family and be like, hey, I got this new deal. Like even my network marketing friends that I went after with my product didn't want to join me. And I'm just telling you that right now. And so that's the problem with today's, network marketing, because back in the 1990s, this worked, to go after your friends and family, to call them on the phone, make a list, wander around in Walmart. I mean, maybe wandering around in Walmart never worked, but what I'm saying is, one of the key things is to recognize the fact that a lot of times in our home-based business or in our network marketing business is simply that as the home-based business owners and network marketers in the year 2016, it does not work for us to go after our friends and family anymore. What works is for us to go after our target market. right? Because there are people who are already interested in what we have. And like I mentioned before, our target market is going to be people who probably have similar interests. So when we're identifying who they are, they're probably people just like us. They probably like the same public figures. They probably like similar things. And so that's a key to going and identifying who your target market is. You know, what do they like? Who are their favorite public figures? Start to identify them and their age group and their gender and things like that. Get specific. And then also, not only that, but first of all, find out what kind of problems are they facing in their network marketing business. Well, one of the things that David Wood teaches in the Top Producer Formula is that a lot of times our target market, they face the same problems that we face. So start to identify some of the problems that you've had when you first got started out in your network marketing business. You know, what were the problems that you had? Start to identify those problems. And as you begin to identify those problems, you can start to find the solution. As you have this, as you identify the problems that they had and you find the solution to the problems, excuse me, sorry, by going through things like the Top Producer Formula and listening to things like the Inner Circle audios, there you're going to find the kind of information that you need to solve the problems of your target market 9 times out of 10. Because the reason that I created this hangout is because I know that you probably have a problem because you've probably been taught to go after your friends and family, right? They probably taught you go after your friends and family and target them. When in reality, like I said, it doesn't work in the year 2016. You know, back in the 1990s, that was more relevant, but nowadays it's not really relevant, right? Because we live in more of a digital age where people aren't necessarily looking for their friends and family to come after them, because it's like going after a vegetarian with meat. You're like, buy my chicken sandwich, and they're like, no, I don't even eat that. You know, it's like, you don't want to do that. We want to target a specific target market. So number one, find your market, identify them. Who are they? What do they like? Well, they probably like things like you like. They're probably interested in things like, you know, the same public figures, the same books, the same audios. They're probably interested in the same things. So you want to identify your target market by first identifying yourself, right? Because you can find clues to who they are by looking at what you like. Once you identify them, you want to identify their problems. And you can begin to solve their problems by purchasing items like the Top Producer Formula or the Inner Circle audios, right? You can take that information and you can begin to, you know, solve their problems by listening to the products of other 6- and 7-figure earners. Now, please keep in mind, there's no guarantee that you'll earn any money from watching this this hangout. And please see our income disclaimer at www.empowernetwork.com/income. But do understand that you have the power to move forward in the way of your dreams with your business by, first of all, identifying, letting go of chasing friends and family by doing that, and also by you know, solving the problems of your target market. And the way that you do that is by looking at the kind of problems that you had. You can also do something that one of my mentors, David Wood, talks about in, you know, some of the videos that he has up on his site. And he talks about the fact that, you know, you can find the problems to your target market, especially in network marketing, by first and foremost researching for an hour a day the problems that your target market has. Like, what problems are they facing today? Identify those problems by, you know, researching it for an hour a day. And then as you find the problems, you can find the solution to the problems by going through things, educating yourself, like through the Inner Circle audios, through the Top Producer Formula, and then identifying first and foremost, if you want to solve their problems, you first have to figure out where can you find your target market. So if you want to solve their problems, you have to be able to contact them, right? So you want to put your products in you want to put the solutions to their problems in front of them. And how do you do that? You can begin to do that by first and foremost connecting with your target market by thinking of, where do they hang out? Where would the people who have or need the product that I have, who need the solutions to their problems, where do they hang out? Find out where they hang out online, and then put that product in front of them. Well, how do you do that? You can do that by creating a blog post. You can do that by creating an audio, a video, and posting it and putting it in places where they can find it. Because then it looks like you're like, oh my gosh, there you are to the rescue to help them solve their problems, right? So number one, letting go of chasing friends and family, is identifying our target market and then going after them with the solution to their problems. Finding the solutions to, first of all, finding their problems by looking at the problems that we had when we first got started, or by researching the problems that the people in your niche market are facing. And then solving those problems by obviously educating yourself. You can find solutions to those problems by listening to things like the Inner Circle audios or the Top Producer Formula, right? Now, if you're already in Empower Network, I'm going to ask you right now, if you don't already have the Top Producer Formula or the Inner Circle audios, to find a way to get upgraded as soon as you can, because that's where you're going to have the information that you need to get to the next level. Right? I was listening to one of my mentors, Tracy Walker, just the other day at our live event that we had out in Nashville last year. And in it, she really talked about the fact that you and I have to act as if our business, our lives depend on our business. We have to act like it does, because in reality, it really does, right? We have to make this thing work, and we know that we do. And so what I want to encourage you to do today, that if you're already in Empower Network, go ahead and get upgraded to the Inner Circle audios or the Top Producer Formula, or both. And number two, if you're not already in Empower Network, go to successwithchanel.com and enter how you found it, your best email, and watch the quick video and get signed up for the $7 2-week trial. Because number one, I believe that in it, you're going to find, number one, you'll learn more about the Inner Circle audios and the Top Producer Formula. And number two, you'll be able to see if this is for you, because this product is not for everybody, right? It's only for people who are really ready to get started and really serious about taking their business to the next level, right? And so I want to encourage you today in letting go of your friends and chasing your friends and families to, number one, first and foremost, identify your target market by first looking at yourself, and find people who, identify them by looking at people who have a similar interest as you do. Letting go of chasing your friends and family by, first of all, targeting a specific market. Number two, how do you find that specific market? Look at yourself. What do you like? Find people that like the similar things that you do and identify them and get really clear on what they like and what they don't like. And number three, find their problems. And as you find their problems, begin to identify the solutions to their problems by first finding their problems by either researching their problems or looking at yourself and the problems that you had when you first got started. And if you're looking for the solution to these problems, well, you can probably find them in the Inner Circle audios or the Top Producer Formula, right? So if you don't already have those products, if you're not already in Empower Network, you can go to successwithchanel.com. My name is spelled CHANELL, successwithchanel.com, and there you can get signed up for the 2-week $7 trial. And number two, if you're already in Empower Network, just log into your back office and go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get signed up for the Inner Circle audios and the Top Producer Formula. If you can't do that, we'll set a date for the day that you can get those products. Maybe you can't get them today, but set a date for when you can. Write it down. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome day. And before I let you go, don't forget to go to chanelchilds.net for more golden nuggets. My name is spelled CHANELL. Last name Child, CHILDS.net. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next time. Bye.